quick, before we get to what the Flyers could do tonight, as you will be a part of the great broadcast from 6
Tim
to 10
Saunders
here on The Fanatic.
And Jason Martinez will bring the expertise.
And Mark joins us in an hour from now.
That'll be great. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good time.
On ESPN, they did like the grades for everybody in the NBA draft as that came to an end yesterday. And these grades were put together by Kevin Pelton, who does a very good job covering the NBA. I don't really necessarily look at him as a draft analyst, more so just an NBA sort of guy. But
okay.
So just take that for what it's worth. But obviously, it's his forte is basketball, so he's, I'm sure, studied all these players. So he gave the Sixers a B+ for their selection. He did give some teams Fs. So,
Fs?
Oh, yeah. He gave the Pelicans an F.
Well, I think they get an F.
Yeah.
They gave up maybe next year's number 1 pick in the draft.
I know. I saw that.
Stupid.
It's crazy. But he gives the Sixers a B+ for their selections of VJ Edgecomb and Janai Broom. Here's what he wrote. Although Con Knippel was a little ahead of my projections, I probably would have taken Edgecomb here too. I like his defensive base with a sky-high steal rate at Baylor and athleticism to become a shot creator. Knippel may have fit more cleanly with Joel Embiid, but given the state of Embiid's health, I'm not sure that should be Philadelphia's primary timeline anymore.
Interesting.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Just real quick, the Knippel thing. This is kind of what I thought last year with McCain versus Connect. Dalton Connect fits more with Joel Embiid, kind of like what he's saying about the Edgecomb versus Knippel conversation. I do still believe they should have went with Connect last year, but now that we're seeing the future with Joel Embiid, maybe they found something in Jared McCain. He continues to say a consensus first-team All-America pick last season, Broom could help the Sixers immediately. He also brings more skill to the center spot than backups Andre Drummond and Adem Bona, who struggled to fill in for Embiid last season, which there was a lot of time to fill in for Embiid last season, and yes, they absolutely struggled. And I do believe the Broom selection is an indictment on Adem Bona, and it could also be the future of Andre Drummond, who could end up being a cap trade at some point this offseason.
Okay.
But a B+, which, all right, we'll take it.
I like it.
That's close to an A-.
No, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that and run with it and be really happy.
And in this draft, this draft wasn't a franchise-changing draft for really any team other than the Dallas Mavericks.
I'm thrilled with that. To me, that sounds really good.
Do you have the whole article up?
Yes.
Where does that? How many A's and A+ are out there?
During the break, I'll jot that down for you because he doesn't go in order of the A's and the B's, which I kind of wish he did.
What do you go alphabetical?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes, he did.
It happens.
So I'll get those for you.
Who even knows the alphabet?
Coming up next. Tell us about the Flyers.
Phoenicians.
Tell us about the Flyers and the strategy tonight because they have 3 first-round picks today, but you've been saying for a while you don't believe that they use all 3.
I don't believe all 3 will be used tonight. I believe all 3 will be used tonight, but I do not believe they will be used, meaning they're not going to pick. I do not think they will pick 3 players tonight in the first round. Either they will be packaging stuff, trading back, trading around, or doing that. But to me, this is where I think people need to set expectations.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Flyers are not going to redo the franchise tonight. They are not going to be able to revamp everything tonight into something that, takes this franchise to the entirely new level right off the bat tonight.
Right.
But, as I said to you before, this is the last off-season of building the foundation where you're going to see Danny Briere build the franchise. And tonight is mission critical. It's huge to what they're going to try to do. I believe you're going to see this team, if the opportunity presents itself, add a veteran in the next 48 hours. Add a veteran player in the next 48. A player meaning a veteran player, someone that would be more controllable, someone that would be a second contract player.
And you don't mean veteran 35-year-old.
No. I believe you're going to find something. The only thing that I would see them adding somebody in their 30s, and I do believe that's on their radar, multiple goalies.
Yep.
And I do absolutely believe you're going to see a veteran goaltender come here in the next few weeks. That's going to be a part of this. But
This whole Carter Hart thing, like how disgusting of a human being is, number one.
Well, that's a whole issue.
Yeah, that's disgusting human being, number one. But also losing him, like,
It's incredible.
you went from you think you had the guy, and now they have to pivot to try to finding somebody else because let's face it, like Fedotov is who he is, Sam Urson is who he is.
Who they
and
are.
Urson, like, look, I like him as a backup.
There are a lot of people who are going to try to convince you that that Danny should be all in on going and packaging some of these and going buying a veteran player. It's not where they are. It's not the plan. And Keith Jones and Danny Briere have told you over and over again, that's not the plan. But I believe you're going to have a great idea by Monday morning of what the future plan of the Flyers looks like. And just little things that I'm hearing, I'm all in.
So
I'm all in.
My guess, just from you're Johnny Pucks, right? So
Love it.
I'm fake hockey guy. The big free agent splash or noticeable free agent
Not this
splash
year.
is the next off.
That's the next shoe to drop because there'll be money next year.
And that's what they're setting up with this offseason is let's continue to add to the base, as you've been saying,
and
add around Michkov a little bit. But the following year is when they dive deep into the financial pool.
And we're going to ask Mert later. They have restocked the shelves in the minor leagues impressively, but they still have a lot to go in the farm system.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Jason Martinez will be joining us around 8:40 this morning. All right, coming up next, we'll reset today's topics. Also, hopefully the Sixers selections and whoever the Flyers pick tonight can become future All-Stars. Something that the Phillies don't have? Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
A big night for the Flyers. I'm Connor Thomas, and it's draft night in the NHL. The Flyers should be busy this evening. They hold picks 6, 22, and 31. Yeah, 3 first-round picks tonight for the Fly guys. The draft starts at 7 p.m., and they have a lot of options with what they could do. So we'll keep you updated on that. Our coverage begins at 6 p.m. here on The Fanatic. We also have our great draft party down in AC at the Hard Rock tonight. A lot of great Flyers coverage coming your way. The Phillies, not great out there in Houston. They did score a run. Enjoy this for the next 10 seconds from NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Fly ball right field. Smith going back, tagging at third is Stott. Here comes the throw. It's going to trickle into Walker's glove, and the scoring drought is over.
Pretty excited for one run. It's the only run scored in the series, and the Phillies did not win a game. They lost 2-1 yesterday, swept by the Astros. They're now heading to Atlanta for 3 against the Braves starting tonight, looking for a bounce-back series. Game 1 is at 7:15. Mick Abel faces off against Bryce Elder. The Sixers completed their draft last night, taking center Janai Broom out of Auburn. He was the 2025 SEC Player of the Year, so we'll see how he fits in as a depth role player on the Sixers. We'll talk to Jason Martinez coming up at 8:42 for the latest on the Flyers. VJ Edgecomb, the Sixers' first-round pick, joins us at 9:30. This update's brought to you by Rapid Radios. Their instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Trevor, welcome to Philadelphia, my man.
on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, Connor, I did your homework assignment.
Thank you.
So ESPN graded out all the NBA drafts, and I told you that the Sixers got an B+ for the selections of Edgecomb and Broom. And then Connor asked, well, how many other teams got B+? So there were 4 teams that got B+. The Sixers, one of the 4. The Jazz did get a B+ for the selection of Ace Bailey. They also got a second player in the first round and a player in the second round. There were no teams that got an A+. 3 teams that got an A, the Spurs, Pacers, and Hawks. 2 teams got an A-. 4 teams got a B+. 9 teams got a B. So
That sounds about right. I mean,
Yeah, so you're in the top third of
I
the
like
teams.
it. I like it very much.
Yeah.
Lottery team, so you should be.
I was kind of
You're right about that, Connor.
I was
You should be.
confused when the selection happened last night, but then I started thinking about it. I myself am not in love with a Dembona, no matter how much Daryl Morey wants to talk about. I know Amy's been very high on a Dembona. Like, he had plenty of opportunities last year once Joel Embiid went down. I didn't really see much. Athleticism for sure. Like that, I'm not arguing that, but I'm not really in.
Here's the thing.
He's
If
not
he's-
a big part of my future plans.
He's the 12th or 13th guy off the bench for like an athletic
yeah,
replacement
sure.
that will attack the rim. Cool.
Yeah, he's not my backup to Joel.
No.
Only problem is that you're going to have 30 games where he may have to do more than you expect.
Where he'll be the backup to whoever's
Right.
starting in place of Embiid.
Because Joel's might be sniffles, might be disinterest, whatever it's going to be. He's going to miss those games.
I'd say
never know
injury.
Or just,
Come on, man.
just a load management. Perfectly
right.
healthy, just need a night off.
Obviously,
Exhausted.
we've been talking a lot about the Phillies today, as well as the NBA draft reaction. For me, this trade deadline. Let's get some text messages here at 610-632-0975. Sorry, we've been so busy that I haven't gone to the
amazing.
text line. That's my bad. And we're working on the YouTube, folks. I know I have a different camera angle, so now I have to look this way. To me, this trade deadline is make or break for me with Dave Dombrowski, because I saw a guy have the opportunity to improve the team in the offseason going into the 2024 season, and he did very little. I saw a guy that had the opportunity to improve the team at the trade deadline in 2024. He did not. I saw a guy that did absolutely nothing other than the Jesus Luzardo trade, which I will give him credit for. But the lineup has been the problem the last 2 postseasons, and he ran it back. They made it very public that they were trying to trade Alec Boehm, which I do believe is part of the reason why he had such a horrible start
And I think
to the season.
I think that was a major rookie mistake for a veteran front office.
Yeah.
To let everyone know that you're going to, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Come on.
And then they tried playing the nonsense of, he's in a great headspace. He is now, but he clearly wasn't for the first month of the season. And then they ran it back with Marsh and Rojas for the 3rd straight year. Think about that. They were platooning in the Arizona series. That was in 2023, and we're still doing this. So let's get some of the reaction to that on the text line as you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. And then we'll talk about the lack of all-stars for the Phillies.
Nice rational reaction here from Tom in Levittown, who says Phillies are not going anywhere unless they trade everyone but the starting pitchers.
Yeah. It's a waste of a text.
No,
I
no. I think there's a tongue-in-cheek element
Of
to
course
it, but
there
it's the frustration of it's the only thing that is faux show for this team. Kids don't say that anymore, but it is a
You shouldn't either.
but you know who does? Who says it 5 times on draft night? Ace Bailey. Faux show.
Oh, was that
faux show?
Faux show?
Faux show. Faux show. He said it 5 times.
So
In one interview,
you and Ace are
one
you
interview
guys are
when he
both
got dressed.
cool.
Yeah, I thought the kids weren't saying it anymore.
are you going to
We're
wear
gonna
his,
send
are
you
you
to
gonna, are you
Utah
gonna wear
next.
his suit that
But
he wore?
No, I'm not wearing the Michael Jackson collection suit. I expected to see him moonwalk across the stage. He's really not getting good advice,
No.
but the fashion advice he's getting is horrendous. But no, to me though, I'm just gonna say that's
That was a choice.
Yeah,
what
choice.
else? What else we got on the text line? He'll fit right in with some players in the NBA. You see what James Harden wears.
Our buddy
James Harden,
Tasty
James Harden, ridiculous.
Our buddy Tasty Cake Dom checks
What's up,
in.
Dom?
Says Astros are a legit World Series contender. 3 fly balls and the Phils win that series. Our starting pitching can beat anyone. We got a shot.
I agree with the starting pitching, and that's why after Game 2, we had the guy that tweeted you and I that said, this is why you don't go after it with this team. And I disagreed because I watched the starting pitching staff against a still very good Astros team allow 5 total runs. Actually, the starting pitching staff only allowed 4 total runs because 3 because Strom gave up 1.
3.
Kerkering gave up 1. So I watched a starting pitching staff pitch. I don't know how many. Ranger went 7 plus.
I think they went like 19 innings.
Yeah, okay. So I watched 19 innings
Which is crazy.
out of 3 guys that might be, who knows, not in the order that it went, Suarez, Wheeler, Sanchez, but those could be your 3 starters in a series, right? You could very well go Wheeler, Suarez, Sanchez as your 1, 2, and 3. I watched those 3 guys throw 19 innings where they allowed a collective 3 earned runs. And yet my bats and this poorly constructed lineup and reliance on Otto Kemp, who Dave Dombrowski has all of a sudden fallen in love with, put up 1 run. Sorry, 1 run.
Here's where Tasty Cake Dom is right, though, and Connor is right. I absolutely believe that if we get to October, you could face a team like the Astros, and the Phillies could put together a 5-game series or a 7-game series, and they could rake, and they could find a way to win that series.
Yeah.
They're not doing it 3 series in a row.
Right.
Period. And if you believe they are, you've seen the movie and you're not watching.
Well, hang on.
And you're not understanding what this team is.
Hang on, though. Here's the other way to look at it. This was a terrible, terrible series offensively. But they didn't have to rake to win the series.
No,
they might not have to rake to win in October.
But
if you're going to hold teams to 2 or 3 runs a game, you don't have to get hot.
No, because
That's another thing I'm not gambling, my man.
Here's what it is. I can't gamble on that. But more importantly, I absolutely, Connor, I believe it's like I'm further close. I'm closer to going shoulder to shoulder with you on this than you actually believe. Like I do believe that they can do what they did in 2022. They can do what they did where they can look great for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks of a postseason. But I know that the crap out is coming. It's coming. It's like tonight when the draft is over, I may be sitting down and playing some blackjack. And I know that when I put down that first $100 bill and I go on a run,
Johnny Hundreds.
and I get up. Well, there you put on because you need some. And I go on and I get on a run and I find myself up $70, $80, $100. I know that it'll be, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
And John rolls to the high
No,
tables.
I don't roll to the high tables.
That's the game, though, right? That's blackjack. That's baseball. That's the game. Every team's gambling. You're not going to become the Dodgers at the trade deadline. And
no, you're not. But the thing is,
but you could try to come closer to the Dodgers.
How about this? I absolutely can do things that would bring me closer to the Dodgers.
If you trade for Eugenio Suarez and the lineup is Turner, Harper, Suarez, Schwarber, Castellanos, Bohm, Real Muto, Stott, Sosa, Platoon, because I can't rely on Stott. And then Crawford gets called up.
I'm feeling so much better about this team. And
That's
then
Boogie, man.
And again, then you're not worried about. People are like, well, what if Crawford doesn't hit? And it's the same people that I get into it with on social media. If you're telling me, like you watch this Astro season, it's like, how's your boy Rojas there? I'm like, if you watch that Astro series and you're complaining about the 9-hole hitter and you're watching the big names on this team and what they did, 1 for 14, 0 for 13, and you're complaining about Rojas, you are absolutely a head in the sand or you're a pom-pom shaker. You're one of the two. You're choosing not to blame the guys who are being paid big money to come through, and you're worried about a 9-hole hitter. It's like the people who blamed Rojas for losing the Arizona series.
Yeah.
Right. It's crazy.
You're picking the wrong fight. That's the wrong fight. Even though, believe me, even the biggest Rojas defenders, and I raise my hand, please, I'm coming to a rock fight with a pea shooter.
Yeah, but
it's believe me.
A new center fielder isn't going to change. If Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and Trey Turner go cold in October, they're dead. Whether they trade for everybody or nobody.
Here's clue. By the way, one other text that I did not read yesterday.
What do we got?
Is that, John, you do not know truly who's available on the trade market.
Right.
If Dave dangles somebody who teams are interested in, you don't know who is potentially there for the taking.
That's why I keep on talking
Fans
about
talk
being
like-
creative.
It's like you don't know who's available. So it's another thing where I think I know, but I don't know.
The McAble phone's getting picked up real quick over here.
No, I already said that yesterday. I said I'm willing to believe that maybe, let's put it this way, I'm not doing the ignore thing. I'm not doing the ignore.
The phone is
It
answered.
took one more start.
I'm not doing the ignore thing. So that's got to be because it's the okay. I can say let's just see if it's something ultra intriguing like that. I didn't even believe that they would do it.
Okay.
We'll see if they do though.
All right. MLB All-Star finalists for the starter. So this does not mean that the Phillies won't send any All-Stars. Every team has to send at least one, and we know that pitching they will definitely have some. But position players, the All-Star starter finalists. First base, Pete Alonso. Man, that would have been nice. Right-handed power bat if Bryce Harper went to the outfield. But no, we didn't do that either. And it's not like they broke the bank for him. Very disappointed, Dave. Freddie Freeman. Those are your two first basemen. Tommy Edman, Ketel Marte, second base. Mookie Betts, Francisco Lindor, shortstop. Machado, Muncy, third base. Carson Kelly, Will Smith, your catchers. Outfield, Acuna, Pete Crow Armstrong, Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pages, Juan Soto, Kyle Tucker. These are not DHs. It's just all position players. So Kyle Schwarber could obviously be in the running for the DH spot, even though I imagine Shohei Ohtani will get that because he's Shohei Ohtani. The Phillies don't have a finalist. The only one that I would sort of wonder is
Who
is Trey Turner.
No.
I don't know why you fluff it off so quickly.
I get you as far as
I'm not pining for it, but I'm just saying like that's the only one.
Who is he going? Tell me who.
It's Betts and Lindor.
You tell me you would put him ahead of Betts and Lindor?
Mookie Betts is hitting 256
I got you.
with 9 home runs.
I got you.
Yeah, I'd put him ahead of Betts.
He plays for the LA Dodgers, which helps.
Okay,
Because it is a fan.
No, it does help. It does help. Okay, do you think he's a better than Lindor?
Yeah, I think
he's comparable
I think
this year.
Mookie.
No, I think he's absolutely comparable or comparable. I think he is absolutely. I'm going to give Connor
that's the only area
Connor's
where I would say that's where maybe somebody sneaks in.
Betts I'm going to give you. Lindor I'm not going to give you.
Outfielder, the Acuna already being a finalist is insane. How many games has he played?
Oh, come on. I understand.
This is where fan voting is
but
insane.
you know what's insane? Acuna's insane.
Yeah, no, he's really good.
He's freaking insane.
He's hitting
ridiculous.
369 with 9 home runs already.
Is it an all-star game?
He already has as many home runs as more than
He'd be second on the Phillies.
Yes.
And he sat out two months of the season. He's insane. He should be in the All-Star game.
I know. I'm just saying it's crazy that he's already up as high as he is.
Because fans want to see the best players.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, coming up next, today's headlines with Connor Thomas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We want to hear from you. So text. Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm reading an article. Oh, my God.
You need help with the big words?
No, the security system here.
Sound it out.
Well, did you realize?
I had to confirm that I'm a real person to click on an article.
Are you?
Al-Qaeda's been trying to get into our system.
Unbelievable.
I watched the last video.
So there's an article from Matt Gell, but I'm seeing it from Destiny Legardo, who does a great job with Phillies Nation. I'm trying to find when this article was written. So she just posted it today. Like, it just got posted.
Okay.
So Max Kepler is voicing some frustrations.
Well, really, we've been voicing frustration with you too, Max, so we're on the same page. What do we got?
So Kepler was obviously out a couple games because he can't hit left-handed pitching.
What's he frustrated with?
Kepler, in his return to the lineup on Thursday, played his worst game of the season. He went 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a double play. He may have had a play at the plate in the bottom of the 8th inning on the eventual game-winning RBI single by Cam Smith, but he bobbled the ball and left.
He did, and it was a terrible bobble.
Afterwards, he expressed his frustration to Matt Gelb of The Athletic by saying, quote, "I'm not playing routinely.
Oh, my gosh.
I was told I was going to be the starting left fielder."
Oh, no. Max. Dude, you know what they have? And I know you've used one. I can just tell. I'm taking a guess. They have these things, full-length mirrors, and I guarantee you've used one. You go look at it, and then you can ask yourself, why? Why is Rob Thompson not using me?
Are we really doing this?
That is unbelievable. That is a complete lack of self-awareness. I did not. Oh, that is not good. That's not good.
It's great and all that you were
that's not
told
good.
that you were going to be the left fielder.
You haven't earned it. You've played your way out of that. That's incredible,
man,
that he's saying that.
Man,
that's incredible.
That's your boy. What do we got?
What do you mean that's your boy?
That's your boy.
You've defended him at every turn.
Listen, I don't think he's as bad of a player as he's been this year. He's not been good. He shouldn't be the everyday left fielder.
Okay,
but
so if he's causing problems now
that's a problem that he's even mouthing that off.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Now, if they told him coming in, like, you're our guy, and they haven't had that conversation with him, because we don't know what's said behind closed doors, maybe it needs to be handled better, but he also needs to understand that he has not been playing well enough to deserve that opportunity.
He 100% is not.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, we'll talk more about this. I just saw this, but it's time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Wow, this should be fun to talk about more. Brought to us by who?
All right. Table it for a second. We got some fun stuff. It's brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers, visit lundylaw.com. That's lundylaw.com. We have a hell of a story to lead off because Chris Spatola was on Mad Dog Radio. And they do this game where it's called like Spot the Lie, where you tell 3 stories. It's basically 2 truths and a lie. And he told a hell of a story that ended up being one of the true ones about his time coaching USA basketball and LeBron James. Take a listen.
So I spent 5 years on Coach K's staff at Duke, and it was during the time when he was coaching USA basketball. We're in Beijing in 2008, and it's after a practice, and guys are changing. And LeBron is over on the side, and on his back, he has this giant tattoo going from one shoulder to the other that says "The Chosen One." I'm, in my young, arrogant brashness, I go up to LeBron, and I'm going to have a little fun with LeBron. And I say, "Hey, man, I like your Chosen One tattoo. Do you think I could get one of those?" He turns around, he looks at me. He rips the loudest fart you could ever imagine. I mean, just the loudest, most disgusting, juicy fart.
Oh, God.
He looks me up and down. He says, "Nah, you're too small." And he waves behind his ass to sort of fan out the fart that he had just done.
Fartgate.
And guess what? It wasn't one of the lies. It was the true story.
Oh, my God. When you start saying juicy fart, that's disgusting.
He was selling it, man.
He sold it.
Oh, God.
I mean,
love
seriously, that's a really funny story. That's a very funny
Look,
story.
Yeah, it is.
I know people try to be like, oh, I'm highbrow. I don't care who you are. Farts are hilarious.
That's just guys being dudes,
All right.
man. Having a good time.
Yeah, but that's like
hilarious.
incredible that you're like going up to one of like the assistants and you're like,
Oh, he came up to him.
oh no, yeah. Could I get one of those?
Listen, man, you're in the zone. You're going to get gassed out. I don't know what to tell
I'm
you.
glad you didn't listen to it in advance. That's hilarious.
hilarious.
I like that from LeBron because LeBron's always this Mr. Like, you don't really see him mess around as much.
Right.
I mean, he's less so than Kobe, less so than Jordan, but it's good to know that NBA superstars fart too.
Can I just say this real quickly, though, is how come a lot of the people that I know who eat the cleanest, who are like supposed to be these, my body's a temple, are the worst gas people I've ever known in my life.
Yeah.
Broccoli.
Broccoli
does
but they
that.
constantly, their bodies are constantly rejecting whatever they're eating.
Well, why do cows have so much methane? Because they're always eating grass and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You
Yeah,
eat a
I
bunch
mean,
of
it's-
vegetables. Science, it gets you gassy.
It's vegetables.
I mean, it's too much.
Legumes, eat some beans, get back to me.
Damn right.
All right. We'll also round out. So the Eagles had the Jason Kelsey Beer Bowl. They had an obstacle course that they were doing and all of this stuff. And I know you guys have some thoughts. The Eagles have been getting around this offseason.
Oh, hold on. I don't have thoughts.
Johnny?
I would suggest that maybe some people even around the Eagles have thoughts. It's just guys who've been injured chronically may not want to be doing beer chugging obstacle courses. That it might be something that would cause them to go, yo, dudes, okay, let's dial this back a little bit. You know, just dial it back a little bit.
Yeah,
And
we're almost
look,
in bubble wrap territory right now for the Birds.
I love the joy of Cooper DeJean is fantastic too, and it's not Cooper.
No, you're talking about a player that's often injured. It's like if we watch Joel Embiid perform in the Olympics when the guy's usually hurt, we would have a problem with it, right?
Or it was like on stage dancing at a concert while he was injured.
Or walking around barefoot when he had foot issues.
Sidney Brown shouldn't.
Oh, that's who it is.
Sidney Brown, if you're going to call it that, Sidney Brown should not be doing any kind of stupid obstacle courses when he can turn a knee, when he could hurt an ankle, when he could do something like that. When he has been,
but he's fiery, bro.
When he has been chronically not able to keep his backside on the field for games.
He's fiery, bro.
Yeah, but you chug the beer. That's basically the injury-proof juice.
I will tell you this, though, is knowing some people who were at the event and everything, Cooper and the Eagles players and everything did a great job for charity and did a great job of and making fans for life. And once again, Cooper knocked at least 3 more beach bars off the list.
Good for him.
He's got it. I mean, I'm telling you, he's hitting them all.
Do you think he's got like a passport or he's getting stamps?
Well, he's hitting them all.
If I picked off Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl,
he's hitting them all.
I'd be drinking on the moon.
On his birthday.
All I'm telling you is, it better be a great year this year.
I know.
Because you know what's waiting.
Yeah, you know what's coming.
You know what's coming. All those videos, all those things can come back and bite you in the ass quick.
So coming up next, the plan was to give you the Bryce Harper update and talk a little bit more about him. We will still do that, but we have to react more to this story that I'm just seeing now from The Athletic, where Max Kepler is voicing his frustration because he was promised to be the everyday starting left fielder. Okay, it's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Draft night in the NHL. I'm Connor Thomas, and tonight the NHL draft gets going. The second of the week. The NBA draft concluded last night. We'll talk about that in a second, but the Flyers should be busy this evening starting when the draft starts at 7. They hold picks 6, 22, and 31 in the first round tonight, so a lot of options. Our coverage begins at 6 p.m. here on The Fanatic, including our draft party down in AC tonight. Our long national nightmare with the Phillies, it's over, folks. They scored a run yesterday. Here's the NBC Sports Philadelphia call.
Fly ball right field. Smith going back, tagging at third is stopped. Here comes the throw. It's going to trickle into Walker's glove, and the scoring drought is over.
After 26 straight scoreless innings, you can understand T-Mac's excitement there in the call. Unfortunately, not enough to win the game. They lost 2-1. They got swept by the Astros. They're probably just glad to get out of Houston. They head to Atlanta tonight for 3 against the Braves. Game 1 is at 7:15 this evening. Mick Abel versus Bryce Elder, the pitching matchup. Sixers completed their draft last night, taking center Janai Broom out of Auburn in the second round. 2025 SEC Player of the Year joins the squad. We'll talk to Jason Martinez coming up at 8:42. VJ Edgecomb, the Sixers' first-round pick, will join us at 9:30. This update's brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
Ricky Bowe.
.26 here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. So last segment, we did today's headlines with Connor Thomas, which we do at that time every single day at 8, around 8:14, 8:15 is when we start. But right before it started, I saw the blurb in the story from Matt Gelb in The Athletic, and again, credit to Destiny Lagarda who posted it as well. Max Kepler is not thrilled right now. Quote, the biggest challenge for me is not playing routinely, Kepler said after Thursday's loss. That's the biggest challenge. Kepler was under the impression that he would. Yeah, he said, I was told I was going to be the starting left fielder. So let's break this down a little bit. I'm sure he was told he was going to be the starting left fielder. Number one, done. Number two, He has started in 60 of the first 81 games. He's only started 3 games where there has been a left-handed starter on the mound. In the beginning of the season, he was. They eventually stopped doing that because they realized he's not good at hitting against left-handed pitching. So I have some numbers for everybody here. In those 3 games in which he started against lefties or against left-handed pitching in general, in the 3 games where the lefty started, he's 4 for 28. It's a 143 batting average. Overall this year against left-handed pitching, he's hitting 222 and has hit a whopping 1 home run off of a left-handed pitcher. In the games where he's been a starter, doesn't matter if it's lefty or righty on the mound, his numbers in the games in which he started, there's 60 of them. He's batting .213 with, once again, 8 home runs. His on-base percentage is .309. I don't know what the league average is in on-base percentage, but I believe that's well below league average. His OPS of .693 is below league average. Those are numbers as a starter this year. So it could be true that you were told that you were going to be the starting left fielder. What is also true, Mr. Kepler, is that you have not had really a great season in 6 years. So maybe you were brought in to be the starter, and the team then found out that you cannot be the starter anymore.
You have absolutely not earned the right to be complaining about it. We are just days away from July. Come on, dude. Just stop it. Just stop it.
If this was the second week of May and he was told he was going to be the starting left fielder, if there was anybody that would... Here you go. I know I usually bash Marsh. If after the first month of the season, Marsh went public and said, hey, I was told I was going to be the everyday starting... I was going to be given the opportunity to be the everyday starting center fielder. And 4 games into the season, they platooned me.
Totally different.
If he came out and said something, I'd go, yeah, I don't agree with you, but I totally understand your point.
I would absolutely have his back for that point of view.
When he was told, hey, you are going to be given the opportunity to be the starting center fielder of this baseball team, and it was literally the 4th game of the season, they had already taken him out because they were facing a left-handed pitcher. Max Kepler, like, yo, dude, you have literally no standing to talk here. None.
Well, hang on. What's the OBP again?
309.
309, I think.
The MLB average is 315, so he's not like way off.
He's still below. He's
below average. Yes.
Average.
Yeah, I got you.
And he's supposed to be a middle of the order guy.
I'm just making sure we all have all the numbers. Right.
Yes,
supposed
that's
to be
below average.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just not like Max Kepler has been a huge disappointment, and I look at it too as
well. To me, it wasn't a disappointment. It was just, he's a guy.
No, but he's a huge disappointment for what they expected him.
For what they expected, I didn't.
Yes, he's a huge disappointment. They went out and spent $10 million on him.
Yes.
Didn't they spend $10 million on Romano?
I believe so. Yeah.
Something around
By
there.
the way, $10 million that could have been spent on
Esteves,
one of the best closers in the game that you had on your team. That you had on your team.
It's not an Esteves conversation.
No, I mean seriously.
I got
No,
you.
but I mean like this is where these are the things that drive you nuts.
So here's more numbers for Kepler.
You had him.
So
and you
again,
went and said, no, we're going to take the broken down guy.
They didn't really
give him the same money.
They didn't really start doing this platooning consistently till June, right? They did a couple times in May. So in March, April, the first full month of the season,
sure,
he batted .253 with 3 home runs. All right. In May, 20 starts, 25 games, he batted .188.
For sure.
In June, when they started doing the platooning, but he has still made 16 starts in 20 games, he's batting .167. So it has gotten progressively worse.
Yes.
Each month.
Yes.
Dude, what are you complaining about?
Like this is where he should just
zip it.
Dr. Evil. Zip it. Zip
Just
it.
don't say anything.
Hang
he
on,
doesn't
though.
need to be saying a word.
I don't think this comes from a place of Max Kepler thinks he's playing better than what he is. I think this is some miscommunication somewhere. That's normally where the stuff comes from, right? An improper setting of expectations.
To me, it comes off of as I would be playing better if I was in the lineup every single day.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And maybe, we don't know. That's a who knows conversation. Maybe he's right, maybe he's not. But I think there's probably a better way to go about telling him than what the Phillies have done. Hey, you're platooning right now. I don't know if that conversation has taken place. I think if it does, because Rob Thompson's track record, he's been pretty good at keeping players happy, right? So this may be a mishandling by Thompson or the front office of how they're telling Kepler what they're doing.
All right, so now in 2 weeks, I've seen 2 players now unhappy. Nick Castellanos was unhappy because he got pulled from a game for defensive replacement, which Rob Thompson had every right to do, and it was the right decision to make. Max Kepler is now platooning because he has not proven that he can be the everyday starting left fielder for the Philadelphia Phillies.
And what has Rob Thompson done since then, by the way? He's afraid to do it.
Oh, well.
Now he's afraid.
So what? Is he now going to be afraid to sit Max Kepler?
He's afraid to do it because he got shown up about it, and he's afraid to do it. He said, well, I'm going to put him in as the... Oh, but now he's getting pressured on it. Now he's afraid to do it.
All right, well, sure.
Come on now.
But
all of a sudden,
point I'm trying to make is now all of a sudden there's a second player that's upset with the usage, and it's like, yo, guys, get your act together.
Yeah, it's not good. I just don't want us to come out of this conversation painting Max Kepler like he thinks he's Bryce Harper, right? Because I don't think that's where this comes from.
No, he thinks that he should be the everyday starting left fielder, and he believes that he will play better baseball if he is consistent. It's like JT Realmuto. Realmuto has said in the past that if obviously Schwarber's now your full-time DH, but in the past when they were trying to do the every other day, there's a different DH. Realmuto has said, I would rather play first base than be DH because for whatever reason, his mentality, he's better when he's in the field and he's not just sitting in the dugout. This is a little bit of a different situation. This is a guy that's cannot hit left-handed pitching and is complaining that he's not starting against left-handed pitching.
But if he was playing more, he'd absolutely be able to hit it, even though the back of his baseball card tells you that is complete fiction. That is fan fiction. Might as well tell me you can fly, Batman. Not true.
Max Kepler's in for a rude awakening, by the way, because if they can't get a center fielder, if there's not like the center fielder, but it's a corner outfielder, that's the solution. Get ready to learn platoon, buddy.
Yeah,
get ready to learn DFA, buddy.
Right.
You have not done anything to avoid being released by this baseball team.
We all agree on that, and clearly the Phillies agree on that. My problem is clearly it's not being communicated well enough to the player. Right? The problem is not Max Kepler playing or sitting. It's that he clearly does not have the advice or he's not taking it from the organization, whether it's him or the other. It's the locker room more than who's on the field right now. Like, I need this team tight. You can't start having guys pissed off.
Yeah, so this guy better watch himself. Like,
we can't just go player, though. Maybe they haven't had the conversation with him in the proper way. We don't know, but they need to figure this out. The talking between needs to be better.
I don't know. What if they did sit him down and say, hey, we're
Connor, we can't assume.
Yeah, we don't know what the conversation
is. We can't assume that he was not talked to.
I know.
He did not say, I didn't know that I was going to be out of the lineup the last 2 days. He said that, again, afterwards he expressed his frustration to the Athletics' Matt Gelb about not playing routinely. I was told I was going to be the starting left fielder when he signed here. Okay. And then you have since shown that you cannot still be the everyday starting left fielder, especially against left-handed pitching. And I wonder, maybe there was a conversation. Hey, Max, we're going to start platooning you, just like they have done with Bryson Stott.
Right, so either he's got to sack up,
yes,
or the Phillies have to communicate better. Whatever side it's on, that's more important to me than who's playing where right now.
I get it. I'm just saying, like, I don't need this guy who has been bad. Ultimately, he's been a bad baseball player for this team. Popping off, sounding off. I don't need this. Zip it, Max.
Or communicate.
I get it. I get it. Every woman in the Philadelphia area loves you because you're a handsome fella. You know, I get it. But your baseball play is not very handsome right now.
That's sort of ugly.
And it hasn't been for 6 years. Wild. All right, coming up next, Jason Martinez. As today is round 1 of the NHL draft. You and Jason will be doing a show tonight, but we'll get another nice little preview of it coming up next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ray Dunn, Mike Missanelli.
The Phillies are...
Matic. So I forgot to mention, our YouTube is back up and running. I know we had some technical difficulties.
Haley, under the hood,
damn right,
messing with stuff, fixes it.
Yeah. So
she just gets to the bottom of it.
So you can get back on the YouTube feed if you found a different way to listen to the show. This would never happen in today's society, but Nathan checks in.
What's up, Nathan?
The only communication needed for Kepler is a stat sheet at his locker. Shut your mouth and get some hits. Could you imagine if Topper just taped to the back of his locker? Here are your numbers against left-handed pitching. Or you know what? Here are your numbers in general. My God.
I was telling you guys some locker room stories yesterday.
Yes, you were.
Where in a different day and age, players were not.
Yeah,
let's just say in today's day and age, scandal.
That ain't happening anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we're going to be joined momentarily by our man Jason Martinez as you guys will be doing the special draft show tonight from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City.
At the Hard Rock. At the Hard Rock Hotel.
Did I say Hard Rock?
Yes.
Yes, you did. The Hard
Rock Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City. 6 to 10 tonight. You guys are doing the show. The tickets are all sold out. It was a sold-out event. Really cool that it worked out this way. Timmy Saunders will be on the show with you guys as well, and you'll have a bunch of other great guests like Flyers Governor Dan Hilferty, Rick Tocchet will be there. Danny Briere is going to chime in with you guys.
Jones will come by.
All before the draft, of course.
Yes, they're going to be all there before the draft. It'll be awesome. We'll be reacting to it. Martinez has like a game plan for everything. You know, I'm going to be the point guard tonight. I'm going to be dishing it around to all the great Flyers voices and stars. It'll be a fun time.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll
be great.
We'll be joined momentarily by our man Jason Martinez. We're working on the connection because he's going to be tapping in through his box at the house.
Good.
All right. So real quick, just Bryce Harper update. So Matt Gelb yesterday, he took 75 swings, and is going to be doing potentially live ABs today in Truist. Now, Dave Dombrowski the other day, let's play that clip, Connor, as we're trying to figure out the Martinez situation here. Dombrowski on the Jason Stark podcast gave an update on Bryce Harper, and it's an interesting one. Take a listen.
He is with the club. I'm here in Houston right now, so he's here with the club. He continues to do more in his workouts, swing the bat more, play catch. Really, he's cleared from a doctor perspective as he amps up, and it depends upon how he feels. So that's where the question mark, we don't think it's going to be a long time, but I really can't give you a specific time frame because it will be dependent upon how that wrist feels for Bryce as he continues to amp up. It's doing pretty well right now.
So that's the second time Dombrowski has mentioned that he is medically cleared by the doctor. Remember, he said it again. He said it like 2 weeks ago.
Yep. This is by the way, it's 10 days ago.
10 days ago. Okay. So it's been a week and a half since he said it last time, and he said it again. Now, again, it's not just, hey, the wrist is better, go play. He's going to want to see pitching first. He's going to want to take his swings. I don't know why it's gone this long. He knows his body more than we do, right? So the doctor could say you're medically clear, but if he feels a certain type of way, he feels a certain type of way.
Joel Embiid has told him, take all the time you need, dude.
Hopefully they get him back soon. I'm going to guess, because we've seen this with Bryce Harper before, he'll just randomly pop back up in the lineup. Like, I don't think he's going to do a rehab assignment in AAA. We've only seen him do he did that a couple years ago. Remember, he hit a home run, and I think he had one rehab game. So I wonder if that's going to be his thing. I don't know why he's so against the rehab assignment. I really don't know.
You know what it is?
Tell me.
Because he does what he wants to do in this organization. I don't know why.
But I wonder why he himself doesn't want to.
You're just gonna
it's one thing for the organization to let him do whatever he wants. I don't know why he doesn't want to. And that's something that I would like if I could talk to him.
It's beneath him. It's beneath him. He knows best.
Beneath? I mean,
it's beneath him.
Greats all the time have done it.
I understand, but it's beneath him.
I remember when A-Rod played at the Trenton Thunder Stadium, and that place was packed.
It's beneath him.
I don't know. He's gotten hit by a lot of pitches that have led to injury. The Blake Snell one, the one earlier this year. He may just not want to see minor league pitching and rather see like guys that he trusts a little more.
Yeah, no one else
Those
gets hit by pitches.
Those pitchers that you just mentioned are major league pitchers. Like,
Correct.
No,
I
I got you, but he may not want to go down to AAA to see those guys. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal for me.
You know what the answer is? The answer is he doesn't want to, and this organization lets him do what he wants, and they have since day one when he got here.
Right, but we're asking why does he not want to?
Yeah, I'm just curious why he doesn't want to.
The reason he doesn't want to is because he knows he gets to do whatever he wants. So he goes, today I don't feel like doing that, so I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but he doesn't come back unprepared.
I don't know. I know last time he came back first game, I think he had a hit, and then he was terrible for like a week and a half, I thought. And then it got better. He didn't have a good start when he came back.
Yeah.
It's like, again, it's Bryce Harper's world, and the Phillies are just living in it. They do what he asks. They do what he says. But as he said, Joel says, whenever you're ready, Bryce, you come back.
All right, let me ask you guys something. If there is a legitimate chance that he can move to the outfield, do you do it before the trade deadline to try to get him in there, or do you do it after they actually acquire someone?
Necessity only. He's played enough outfield.
So you would it's August 1st.
Yeah.
They acquired Eugenio Suarez. Bohm goes to first. You're putting Harper out there.
Yeah, because I don't remember, the wrist is not going away totally. He can come back and play, but I don't want to put him at unnecessary risk, so I'm not playing him in the outfield if I don't have to.
What's the unnecessary risk?
It's just outfield's a little bit more intensive than first base.
For the wrist, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but not for his back. He's a guy with back problems.
Well, we're not worried about the back right now.
Oh, we're not worried about the back right now.
That's not what sideline is.
It's like
you got to focus on what's in front of you, John.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm worried about something that's bothered him in the past.
That's not what's right in front of you.
His back's been a problem.
We haven't heard anything about the back this year. Outfield's more intensive than first base. Keep him at first base until you have to move him to the outfield. Okay. If that opportunity presents yourself, you do it.
That's fair. That's fair. Honestly, I'm so annoyed with Max Kepler right now.
Oh, I'm annoyed by it too.
That I would just move Harper to the outfield. I don't like Max Kepler now.
You didn't like Max Kepler before?
No, I didn't like that they brought him in and that was their answer to bring in a right-handed pop bat that could play in the middle of the order was a left-handed hitter that has not been a power hitter for 6 years.
Oh, by the way, there was one more. I forgot to give you earlier. About moving Castellanos from right field to left field.
Mm-hmm.
Moving right field to left field is something that anyone from Legion Ball could do, let alone a major leaguer.
Yeah.
So it's not even a worry putting Castellanos in left field.
No, I'm just saying it's not going to.
No, but I mean,
he's not going to be great as soon as he goes out there.
But it's something you don't have to have great left fielders where you always hide your worst defense player.
I don't disagree with you there.
So that's something you can't even worry about.
No, what I pushed back on was it's easy to just do that. It's not, because you're going to have to, for a couple of games, you're going to have to get used to the angles again. Or maybe it's one infield-outfield practice. You know what I mean?
You'll be all right. I think you'll be all right.
Dude,
this is unbelievable. The Kepler thing is unbelievable. It shocks me. It shocks me because it just seems that there's some guys pushing against the leadership.
Bryce Elder's on the mound today for the Braves, right-handed pitcher. I'm sitting his ass today. I'm serious. If Rob Thompson is trying to be the whole...
he's the big boy now?
I bench Nick Castellanos. If you're popping off, I'm putting your ass on the bench. Like, right. This is like, I'm starting to get a little annoyed here. I'm starting to get...
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
I don't blame you.
I'm starting to get frustrated.
No, I don't blame you. Not at all.
Up next, we'll get back to our Phillies discussion now. Also, there was a pretty big injury for one of the teams that's in their path. We'll get into that as well. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Draft night in the NHL. I'm Connor Thomas, and tonight the NHL draft gets going. 7 p.m. start time. The Flyers should be busy. They hold picks 6, 22, and 31 in the first round tonight, so they have a lot of options. Our coverage begins at 6 p.m. here on the Fanatic, and we got our draft party down in AC tonight as well. So we'll keep you updated on what the Flyers could do. The Phillies, well, they didn't do much out there in Houston. They did score a run yesterday.
Fly ball right field. Smith going back, tagging at third is Stott. Here comes the throw. It's going to trickle into Walker's glove, and the scoring drought is over.
Unfortunately, that was the only run they scored in the series. So they lost 2-1. They got swept by the Astros, a series to forget out there in Houston. They go to Atlanta tonight for 3 games with the Braves. Game 1 is at 7:15 this evening. Mick Abel faces Bryce Elder. The Sixers completed their draft last night, taking center Janai Broom out of Auburn. He was the 2025 SEC Player of the Year. The 22-year-old will try and find a depth role with the Sixers. This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole new floor inside your Macy's, and right now you'll find the latest summer styles all for under $25 with new arrivals every day. You never know what amazing deals you'll find. We're going to talk to Sixers first-round draft pick VJ Edgecomb, by the way, coming up at 9:30. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hall of Fame sports writer Jason Stark.
Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's get to a couple of text messages, and then we'll continue to talk about our beloved Fightin' Phils, who their left fielder is complaining about playing time.
Truly is incredible. He's getting feedback.
He's in 209.
Getting feedback online, and it's not good.
Yeah, and that's why if I'm Rob Thompson, I'm sitting his ass tonight. I don't care that there's a right-handed pitcher on the mound. You do the Marsh in left field, Rojas in center field day today. I don't give a damn. Like now, all of a sudden, if guys are getting comfortable popping off like this, that you have to put your foot down. If you're Rob Thompson, don't do the whole. And you're more critical of Topper than I am. I don't want to hear Rob Thompson say, "Yeah, I know he's frustrated."
Yeah, but what's happened? The substitute teacher is losing control of the class. This is the second time now in 2 weeks. He's losing control. They're feeling their oats. They're
now,
talking.
the one 2 weeks ago, all right, Castellanos is upset.
And by the way, Casty was wrong.
Right, he was wrong. And he benched
was wrong.
him. And now he's since gone back against his word. I agree with you there.
Because of his reaction, now Rob goes back and doesn't.
But here's my thing with Rob Thompson tonight. This is a game where Max Kepler would typically be in the starting lineup because he's a right-handed pitcher. If I'm making a statement, tonight's the night where you sit his ass because that is out of line, dude. Oh, I was promised that I was going to be the starter. All right, you started 60 of the 81 games. And you know what? You've been bad in them.
He's up in his feelings, and I can't believe that didn't cross his mind to not articulate those words, no matter how much he wants to say it. And guess what? I absolutely understand him wanting to say it.
Right, because I get it being in the lineup every day,
exactly,
and all that kind of stuff.
And he probably believes exactly what he's saying. I'd be playing better if I played more, okay, but you haven't done enough to show that that's the case.
It's not a good look in any sense.
So, before yesterday. He started. He did not play the first two games because of the left-handed pitching, right?
Okay.
Just so you guys, so we get an idea of the consistency thing. June 13th to June 21st, he started all those games. That's 9 straight days.
That's a lot of time.
All right? That's consistency.
Yep.
He hit 219. Now, he hit 2 home runs. Awesome. But he hit 219, which is 10 points above his season average. That's being in the lineup every day for over a week. It's not like he's playing so well at any stretch this season where you need to get him in the lineup.
Yes.
You also have to consider the guys that are getting in the lineup over him.
Yeah,
right? If I'm him and I have that major league career, whether I'm playing well or not, and I see them forcing Otto Kemp out of position to play over me, forcing Edmundo Sosa out of position to try left field, playing Weston Wilson, who was really bad for most of the time he was up here, that probably has something to do with it, too. If it was Justin Crawford, I don't know that we're having this conversation.
So we talked about this the other days. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. The end of the game the other day when Buddy Kennedy was he the last out?
His last.
I think so, yeah.
And you said you wish you gave somebody else a shot.
Anybody. Anybody.
I didn't disagree with you. It's just all those guys also probably wouldn't have gotten a hit off of Hader because...
No, but Hader's fantastic.
Bryson Stott, Max Kepler, their numbers against left-handed pitching is atrocious. But if I'm Max Kepler, maybe sitting there on the bench going, oh, man, my number could be called for this at-bat, and then he sees that he doesn't get his number called, and Buddy Kennedy goes out there and ends the game, all right, maybe I feel a certain type of way. But that's not what he's complaining about. He's complaining about not being in the starting lineup. Now, I pulled up his career numbers. All right?
Okay.
Just to see, what is he as a career hitter against left-handed pitching? Because this year, he's hitting 222. All right? In games where he starts, he's hitting 180, so maybe there's a reason why they don't start him against left-handed pitching. But he's hitting 222 against left-handed pitching this year. For his career, he is a 221 hitter against left-handed pitching. So even when he was with the Twins, there was no reason for him to be in the starting lineup whenever there was a left-handed pitcher on the mound. So, it's not like this is just a this year thing. This has been his career.
That's incredible.
He's not a great hitter against left-handed pitching.
No.
And that's okay. There's some guys that can't hit 300 against both lefty and righty. I get it. So sometimes you got to play the numbers. The thing is, Max Kepler, it's been 6 years since your very good season. If this is 1 year after, sure, complain. Go for it. Complain. It's been 6 years.
Is he finding $10 million next year from anybody?
No.
Is he
He
finding?
should have found $10 million this year.
Is he not this year's? I mean, last year the Phillies just had a guy retire.
He's better than Whit. He's better than what Whit Merrifield was doing for you.
Yeah, Whit was unplayable.
No,
Yeah.
I got you. And then, but though, would it shock you if he was Whit Merrifield next year?
What do you mean, retire?
Yeah. Didn't find
No.
anybody. Didn't find it. Like if in March he wasn't on anybody's roster,
No, that wouldn't shock me.
it wouldn't shock me.
No.
Either. Like, it wouldn't shock me. I don't think he's self-aware here. Like he's just he's I don't know. He's looking at his baseball card and believing that he's still there. He's not.
It's
bad.
To me, this is
It's bad.
and for him to start voicing his frustration. What would you do, Connor?
I'd play him.
You're pro player, of course.
You're playing him?
Here's why I'm playing him. All right? Because you just scored 0-0-1.
Was he a part of that?
No, but exactly. That's my point. You need all the offense you can get at this point. Lefty versus righty. He's the right guy to have in left field. Remember the Castellanos thing, and it's not right. It's going back on your word. I get that, but sometimes you got to be a little hypocritical with decisions when you're trying to win baseball games. The Castellanos thing was in a series in Miami where the team was kind of rolling at that point, right? So now you've got a really bad stretch of offense. You have a guy that can create offense with one swing against a righty, not against a lefty. I'd have him out there because the team needs to win a ball game. That's where I'm at with this. I know that's not the right decision from what the managers handled in the past with Castellanos. That's what I do. Swallow my pride.
All right, and then if he goes 0 for 4 tonight, I'm sitting his ass tomorrow.
Okay.
You want to
listen?
You
Yeah.
complain, then you look. Because here's the deal: if you talk like that, and then you go out and have a bad game today, they're lucky they're in Atlanta.
No, I feel
'Cause
you.
the Phillies fans will be loud.
The
You're
thing
not
is,
wrong.
thing is though, you can't do it. Like you can't sit him tomorrow for something today. You either sit him today or you don't.
I know. I just
Unless you're the substitute teacher
he's
and
bothering
you don't
me,
have unless you don't have control of the classroom.
all right. Real quick, just want to promote the Mike Missanelli show today. So they got a big one today at 10:55. The head coach of Baylor men's basketball, Scott Drew, will join the show to talk about VJ Edgecomb, who's going to be joining us coming up at 9:30 today. They have the Edgecomb and Broom press conference at 11:30. John Rothstein, who does a great job covering college basketball for CBS, hates Temple.
He hates Temple.
Hates Temple.
He is an absolute. He hates Temple.
But he will be joining Mike at 12:25 to talk about the selections for the Sixers. And at 1:25, Jason Martinez will be joining them.
I have no idea where Jason was this morning, but I do know he has radiation this morning.
Yes, and so it's
And
going
I
to be
can come
cool
into
to hear Mikey and Jason back together again. All right, what do we got in the text line this morning, Connor?
We have a lot of people checking in on this Kepler thing and also general Phillies conversation here. But we have a person checking in, Eric from Virginia, saying Max is wrong for airing his gripe to a reporter. But if he was told he would be the starter, Topper should have had the conversation with him.
All right, so he was told that he was going to be the starter, and he was given the opportunity to start. And I gave you the numbers of what he did in March and April, which was marginal. And then May, he hit below 200. And now June, he's hit even further below 200. I imagine he didn't just walk in. Maybe there was some day where he just walked in and his name wasn't in the starting lineup. But I imagine if they decided to start platooning him, like when they brought in Weston Wilson, I'm going to guess they had that conversation. Hey, Max, we're making this decision. It doesn't have to be with roses on the table and candles and all
Let's
that kind
sit
of
down.
stuff.
Max, we're worried about your feelings.
It could just
Max.
be, hey, Max, look, this is what we're going to start doing. This is what
Max,
we're going to try this out.
Max, we want to make sure your feelings are okay.
The conversation, the conversation is, hey, this doesn't have to be a full-time decision. This is just something that we're going to try here. End of story.
Are you okay, Max? Just want to make sure you're okay with this because we want to run it by you.
It's not like Kepler was brought in on a 5-year.
Yeah.
Like this isn't Trey Turner.
Right. We had a conversation earlier in the show, though, about having the proper information, right? So I just want to be careful about vilifying Kepler because we don't know for sure.
No, we know what he said. I mean, we know what his words are.
We know what he said. We
And
don't
I don't
know.
think he should be
No,
talking.
he shouldn't have talked. No matter
Period.
what, no matter what he knows,
Correct.
Connor, he never should have opened his mouth on this.
Right.
With
But
his resume.
We don't know if the Phillies had the proper conversation with
Yeah,
him.
but he shouldn't
If
open
they-
his mouth either
If
way.
they did, yes. But if they did and he didn't, then he's at fault.
You know what this is?
I don't want to jump on.
This is Sean Couturier.
No, exactly
Getting scratched and
being
very upset about
and
it,
sicking his and going.
Getting the agent out.
I didn't say anything about it, but my agent did.
And Sean Couturier was never given a real explanation. But hey, some days you just deal with it. And Max Kepler, who has not been playing well this season, pretty much all year except for like 2 stretches that lasted like 4 whole games. He is not deserving of, hey, we're going to keep on trotting you out there. Right, because he's not that player and hasn't been that player for a long time.
Yes, but this isn't Couturier. He didn't go back channels. He didn't have his agent and try and wipe his hands clean of it. He said it himself. Now he's going to have to wear the consequences. And if that's him sitting, if that's a conversation with the manager, he deserves that for saying this. I'm not saying he's in the right, but I'm saying it's not a blatant one side. Max Kepler is a bad teammate or anything like this, or like we don't know what the conversation has been in the clubhouse. Communication on both sides clearly needs to be better.
Let me ask you this in all seriousness, because you're not wrong in saying you scored 1 total run in 3 games, and he's a better option than whatever else you do at left field. Would you be devastated if they DFA'd him today?
Nope,
not at all for me.
Not in the least. Not in the least.
You still think there's something left in him. I don't think there's anything left.
He needs to be on this team.
Needs?
Right now? Yeah, dude. We talk about the lineup. You're going to make the lineup worse? What, you have someone else like sitting there? They're not calling up Crawford. They're not doing it. They've already shown you that. Like, not tomorrow because they're going to DFA Kepler. So what? You're just going to send a guy down?
I'm not asking to DFA him. I'm just saying, like, is he a guy where, like, you need him in the lineup every day?
On this team? Yeah, not in the lineup every day. But on this team, he needs to be on this team. All right? The outfield is weak.
Wow, needs is a strong word.
I think he's just another guy.
He's
with this baseball team.
You don't have another guy. You don't have another marginal guy.
I can probably get the exact same thing out of Otto Kemp. Like,
okay, but then you need another guy to take that spot. So what? Weston Wilson is now back up here.
If you say just like, well, they're not calling up a player, a 21-year-old who is very, very talented. They're choosing not to.
Well, guess what? Then maybe this is the magic elixir to the Justin Crawford situation.
Could be.
And you say Kepler doesn't play.
Then you know what? Then I would applaud Max Kepler, and I would thank him for finally getting this team to wake up.
See you, buddy.
All right.
Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you.
All right, coming up next, we'll get some more text. But this is the big story now for the rest of the show.
Unbelievable.
We'll get some more text messages on this conversation. Sixer stuff on the table as well. But, man, Max Kepler, this is disappointing, man. I'm amazed that he feels comfortable voicing frustration right now. I have a lot of things to voice my frustration about you. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Ricky Bowe, Bill Cup.
Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. We're reacting to this Max Kepler news where he is voicing his frustration about playing time, which is hilarious to me when you are playing as poorly as you are. But there was some pretty big news in the NBA just now. The Raptors and Masai Ujiri, who is the president of basketball operations for the Raptors, have decided to part ways.
He'll be unemployed for 2 minutes.
So
he'll have any job he wants. Any job he wants.
Can I ask you guys something? What took place the last 2 days?
The NBA draft.
No, but he waited. No, they already knew he was leaving then. That means they already knew he was leaving. So he had
All
a
right,
plan.
so you think their general manager is Bobby Webster. You think
Right, they already knew
he was the one that made the selections?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
they already knew. That means they already knew he was leaving. This is like when Howie's people, they leave after the draft.
Okay.
Howie loses.
So this guy probably had no say whatsoever with
No, they
the
already
draft?
No, they had already. They knew he was leaving. So,
Okay.
but he still oversees all of his activities till after the draft. This is like when Howie loses his scouts.
Okay.
They work through the draft, and then right after the draft, they're done. And then they join somebody else. They close the book because after the draft, they open up the draft book they start all the stuff in earnest for next season. Then they say,
All right, but this is when
"Get out."
Howie loses his guys. This is the guy for the Raptors.
No, I understand.
Like this isn't like a cap guy. This
No,
is
but this is when you
the
would lose.
guy.
This is when you would lose your guy after the draft. You wouldn't lose him before the draft.
All
They're
right,
not firing him. They're not firing him a month before the draft.
I'm just guessing he must have not had say then in this draft if they knew that he was.
No.
If they knew that he was.
Besides,
leaving.
they already had a general manager who was doing a lot of this stuff, working.
Well,
under
he's a
him.
part of it, for
right?
sure.
But I mean, they
it's just like Elton Brand's the GM of the Sixers.
They
but
already had a
We know
plan-
it's the Daryl Morey production.
they had a plan in place for what they were going to do, and I'm sure he is not doing anything unprofessional for the Raptors.
No, of course.
I'm
no.
sure he
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
I'm sure he was doing his job. Came up with a great plan for the Raptors, and then says, "Okay, I'm leaving, but just so you know, everybody agree with this plan. It's good. I've done my job. I've done my job to the fullest. Now I'm out of here."
Okay. All right. Well, just something to keep an eye on because, like you said, he's probably not going to be unemployed very long.
No, he's fantastic.
All right, coming up at 9:30, so 15 minutes from now, we're going to be joined by VJ Edgecomb, third overall pick of your Philadelphia 76ers. So we'll speak with VJ coming up at 9:30. Real quick, something that I forgot to bring up last segment. Griffin Canning, who's one of the younger, good pitchers
I
for
saw
the
him
Mets this
Saturday
year.
night.
Yeah, he was good on Saturday against the Phils. Very good against the Phils on Saturday. He left yesterday's game in the third inning. He was like hopping off the mound watching a play unfold, and it looks like his Achilles just popped. So he's done for the year. That's a big loss for a Mets starting pitching staff that I still believe was playing above their heads. They have some decent arms, but they've been hurt, and now that's another pretty major injury.
That's a major
for a team that's been scuffling recently.
They have to. They were already in the market for a back of the rotation starter. Now they're going to have to go more.
Yeah.
They have to go get somebody.
That's a big loss for the Mets.
These are what real problems look like.
It's going to be, they really got to worry about it now.
You don't think the Phillies have real problems?
No, the Phillies have real problems.
I was gonna say.
But listen, they're not, no one's, knock on wood, no one's popping their Achilles over here.
Dude, you better.
I already knocked on wood.
Knock on that wood harder. My
that.
God.
I did.
Well, you don't believe
no.
you don't believe in that
Yeah,
stuff,
I mean, he's
John.
saying it. Don't voice it.
Oh, no, don't you, Mr. No Jinx.
Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, I got to call you out on something. So this morning, fascinating. I'm walking in. So John got here first. I got here second. Connor got here third. Did you see a bird when you were walking in?
No.
Okay. John and I both saw it. And we came in probably, 5 minutes apart?
Yes.
There was a bird
Trying to get into the building.
It
It
kept on boom, boom,
It
boom.
was flying into the glass, which, by the way, is I believe it's an old Italian wives' tale.
Yeah, but you were saying to me, he goes, "Did you let it in?" I was like, "No, why would I
Don't let it in."
He goes, "Because
Didn't have his key card.
Because he says if you did, that's a bad omen."
No, it's a bad omen of impending death, I believe.
All right, but I thought you don't believe in all that kind of
I'm
stuff.
just telling you, it's a bad omen of impending death. I'm giving you, I believe that's a factual thing. It's like telling you if you see that cloud out there, that's a pen of
I
impending
don't
rain.
think a bird flying into a building is a factual thing.
No, I'm telling you that's what it is. It's
Yeah, but I thought you don't believe in that
birds
stuff.
flying into the windows is. I believe the bird.
So you
flying
believe in
into the
omens?
window. I'm just telling
You don't believe in jinxes, but you believe in omens.
I do not. I'll walk right under that. I'll walk right under that ladder. Show me the ladder. I'll walk right under it. Show me the black cat. I'm not scared. If it
But
crosses
one
my-
bird, and all of a sudden Johnny's frightened.
Bird flying into the window means a bad omen, symbolizing death. That's what it is. So there
I
it is.
just Googled what's the difference between an omen and a jinx. There is none.
A bird.
So you
flying-
believe in omens, but not
A
jinxes.
bird flying into a window is often seen as a bad omen, potentially symbolizing death.
Well, I didn't let it in, so we're good.
Don't let it in.
All right, let's go to Brad. Brad wants to talk about Max Kepler here. What's up, Brad?
What's up, Brad?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good,
What's
buddy.
up, dude?
I just think it's absolutely absurd that Max Kepler thinks he could talk about playing time when he's one of the worst guys, playing as one of the worst guys on the roster.
He's hitting 209, and in his 60 starts that he's made this year, it's not much better.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, it's the big leagues, and he's complaining about, oh, he told me I was going to be the starter. Like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I get
It's
it.
terrible.
If it was 3 games into the season, sure. We're about to turn the calendar to July. As a starter this year, he's hitting 213. So, and he's made 60 starts. Like, he's acting like, and thanks for the call, Brad. He's acting like all of a sudden he's been in the lineup for 3 days. And all. Again, Brandon Marsh, who I'm very critical of. If Brandon Marsh wanted to publicly complain
There'd be a problem.
earlier in the season, I would have been like, all right, I get it, because they told him that they were going to give him a large sample size to prove that he could be the starting center fielder.
They gave too much of a sample size.
No, they gave him 4 games.
No, but too much of a
I know,
sample
I get it. You know how I feel about him. But Max Kepler, like, yo, dude, you had 60 starts and you're complaining about playing time and consistency? You know what's been consistent? Your poor play. That's what's been consistent. Gosh. All right, coming up next, VJ Edgecomb. I'm going to get in a lot better mood because I don't want to scare the young fella. VJ Edgecomb joins us coming up next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Flyers draft up next. I'm Connor Thomas. It's draft night in the NHL, so that means the Flyers are almost on the clock. The draft begins at 7 p.m. tonight, and they hold picks 6, 22, and 31 in the first round tonight. A lot of options for them, so we'll see if there are some trades and who they select. Our coverage begins at 6 p.m. here on The Fanatic. We also have the draft party down in AC tonight. You guys should all check out. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one for the Flyers. The Phillies, it was not a fun one in Houston. They were able to score a run yesterday, so that 26-inning scoreless streak is over.
Fly ball right field. Smith going back, tagging at third is stopped. Here comes the throw. It's going to trickle into Walker's glove, and the scoring drought is over.
Thanks to NBC Sports Philly for the audio. Unfortunately, no thanks to the Phillies for a win. They did not accomplish that yesterday. They lost 2-1. They were swept by the Astros. We'll see if they bounce back. They head to Atlanta tonight for 3 against the Braves. Game 1 one is at 7:15 this evening. Mick Abel versus Bryce Elder. The Sixers completed their draft last night, taking center Janai Broom in the second round. He comes out of Auburn, 2025 SEC Player of the Year. So we'll see if the big man can find a role with the Sixers. We'll talk to Sixers first round selection, VJ Edgecomb, coming up at 9:30. This update is brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365. Download the app today. I'm Connor Thomas, and you're listening to the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
.75 The Fanatic on this Friday morning, a payday Friday, day one of the NHL draft tonight, where there are 3 first-round picks for the Philadelphia Flyers. Do they select 3 players? John Kincade doesn't necessarily think so.
I do not believe they will. I do not think there will be 3 players taken tonight in the first round. So I think they will make a move. I think they will make some moves, and I believe they will get lots of calls. They have 2 first-round picks in 2027. They have 1 first-round pick next year. They have 3 tonight. I could see them moving, doing some sort of a deal where somebody trades into the first round tonight, and they end up getting a second first-round pick next year, like where they have 2 for next year and 2 for the next year, because they have so many picks.
Right. Once you start stockpiling,
they could do something like that.
It comes down to whether or not you're hitting them, right?
And I also believe that there could be some moving up, or there could be some moving back. They could move back out of the first round. Somebody wants to trade in tonight, and they move back. They have so many second-round picks that it's wild. Danny Briere, though, his reputation is going to be a lot of what goes down in the next 48 hours. His long-term reputation of what he does with the Flyers is going to be based on what happens tonight.
Yep.
We won't know for a couple years how it turns out, but a lot of it's going to roll on what happens tonight.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, of course, the NBA draft concluded yesterday with the second round. Janai Broom was the selection for the Sixers, the center out of Auburn. To me, that just sort of tells me what they think about guys like Adem Bona. I'm going to guess that they're going to try to find a way to move off of the Andre Drummond contract, and then we'll see. I know Bona's been working on trying to shoot the ball, so I wonder if they're going to try to turn him into a stretch 4. Because as of right now,
is
they don't have
that a reach?
What?
That turn him into a stretch 4?
I mean, he was a second-round pick. They're going to do whatever they can.
No, but
him,
I mean,
right?
is it a reach?
Yeah, I don't believe that he's going to turn into one.
No, that's
what you do with second-round picks.
No, I get you.
They tried it with Paul Reed, right? Like
they tried it,
and because he was a 3 in college, they brought him in as a center. Then they tried it with the stretch 4. It just wasn't working. So then he became a full-time.
And by the way, I'm one of those people who believed that the Paul Reed thing might have worked out. I did.
You were stuck in the mud.
I did. I thought it. And you ruined Paul Reed.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
By making it that every time he had to put the ball on the court before he shot.
I ended up being correct about that.
You did, and it ruined it, though. Every time I saw him, I couldn't get it out of my head.
I'm sorry. But a guy that I'm very excited for was the Sixers selection 2 nights ago, 3rd overall pick, VJ Edgecomb. He's going to be joining us here momentarily, which we're really excited to talk about him, or talk to him with him. Look, I'm just intrigued by the pick. I know that a lot of people wanted the scorer in Ace Bailey. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. Ace Bailey would not be the player a lot of people expect him to be on this team, because he will not be in the situation where he can go out there and take 20 shots. Now, if people are wishing that they drafted Ace Bailey and moved on from the other guys, that's a totally different conversation.
That's a conversation that you can have.
And I think it's a worthy conversation. Like, if you're... I know how people are fed up with Joel Embiid and would love... I mean, we didn't want Paul George here to begin with, and you wanted it to be Maxey McCain and Ace Bailey. All right. That's a conversation that we can have. But to think that Ace Bailey would have stepped in on this team and would have been able to do what he wants to do, that's just foolish to think about.
Not with this roster right now.
Yeah.
And I know when Mikey Miss today has on his college coach, we'll find out more about VJ Edgecomb. We're going to hear from VJ himself, but we're going to hear more about what are the things that made Daryl Morey fall in love with bringing him into this situation. The fit.
Right.
And why does it work?
I mean, we fell in love with him, the person, just by listening to his press conferences.
I can tell you, it's there is something about it, and we brought it up yesterday. There is something about the hunger factor that I just love.
Yeah. Totally get that. So we'll talk to VJ here momentarily. Now, again, we're still watching this Max Kepler situation unfold, and who knows if he's in the lineup
Max
today.
not hungry at $10 million a year doing what he's doing.
Fine.
He's not hungry.
I got a tweet from the real 3_JT.
Okay, what's up, JT? The real.
Stop pandering to Topper.
I never do. So
he's done
this is directed at you or Connor.
But in regards to Max Kepler.
What?
He's done an awful job this year.
Right.
Just when he got hot, he trots out Bunny Kennedy in the lineup for no reason.
What?
When has Max Kepler been hot?
What?
I've heard that he's hot in one avenue.
Yeah, my daughter will tell you he's hot. Other than that, I
But
can't
from
think
the,
of what you're
from
talking
the
about.
baseball standpoint, I have not seen. He's had
He's
a
hot?
3-game stretch.
Max Kepler?
That
He's had some big hits. How about that? He's had some big hits.
Sure. But
That's
this is to me, this is not a pandering situation.
Situation.
When I'm complaining that a guy is complaining about lack of playing time when he has not done anything to really deserve that playing
If
time.
a Canadian hitman ever takes me out, Rob Thompson paid for it. I mean, seriously,
Yeah, exactly.
There's no pandering going on with Rob Thompson. I think he's the substitute teacher that is nodded off. He does a lot of great things, a lot of them.
Yes.
But I don't know. Strategist? Dude.
Well, one guy that's going to do a lot of great things for many years to come in the NBA. He was drafted 3rd overall by the Philadelphia 76ers just 2 nights ago. He joins us now on the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. 3rd overall pick of your Philadelphia 76ers, VJ Edgecomb joins us. VJ, good morning, man, and congratulations. How you doing?
Good morning. Thank you. I'm doing great, man. How y'all doing today?
We're doing great. We're really excited. We fell in love with you the other night. All the stories that you told, the inspiring stories, and just your work ethic and how fired up you are to be in the NBA. So we're excited to talk to you here for a few minutes. First and foremost, what have you heard about the city of Philadelphia? I know that people normally hear about how tough of a city this is to play in. What have you heard? And then how are you, in terms of your personality and your ability to play basketball, going to fit right in?
Yeah, I heard. First of all, I love the fans already, man. I've got to meet some of them. Just as soon as I got here yesterday, I seen some at where I'm staying at. I just, like I said, everyone's supportive. It's a city of brotherly love for sure. Once you're bought in, I realized that everyone, they love you out here. So, I'm bought in to what the city has to bring, to what Coach Nurse have for the team. So yeah, man. And I feel like I'll fit in perfectly. I love connecting with fans. I love socializing with people, man. So yeah.
VJ, what do you, though, when you look at what the Sixers have, now that you've gotten to look at, say, hey, I'm going to be teammates with these guys, where do you see yourself fitting in as a Philadelphia 76er?
Yeah, I feel like I fit in perfectly with them. Being able to play alongside other superstars in the league, I feel like I'll fit in perfectly, man. And I'm just ready to get in and learn. That's the main thing. I'm ready to learn from what everyone around me can teach me. You can learn from anyone on any given day. So I'm just excited to just go in there and learn, especially playing with superstars. And hopefully I'm that piece to help get us over that hump.
VJ, what do you think's the number one thing you're going to, if you were to put together a learning list of your transition to the NBA, what do you think you're going to be learning from those teammates?
How to play in space. Just how to be a great player in general. And that comes with every aspect of the game. Just learning different spots on the floor. So I feel like that's just going to be. And I'm just super excited just to get in there and start working.
I love how obsessed you are with defense. I love what you said the other day, how you hate it when people score on you. I think a lot of NBA fans look at points per game and how a guy can shoot from 3. Talk about the importance of defense and why you take so much pride in it.
Yeah, I take so much pride in it because, like I said, the team, if they're scoring, then, it's going to be a long night, The objective is always, score more points than the other team, and by doing that, you got to defend. You also got to defend on the other end, to prevent them from scoring, man. And that's what I love to do, man. I just hate to see other teams score you because I hate to lose. I hate to lose, man. And just playing defense, it's just I actually have fun doing it. That's another thing. You got to have fun playing defense, man. You got to want to do it, and I want to play defense.
What did you learn in the short time that you were in college that you think's going to serve you well in your transition to the NBA?
I definitely learned how to play off the ball. How to play with other great players. So I feel like that was everything happens for a reason. I said, Lord knew where I was going, and He placed me in a situation that that's going to help me.
How does it feel when NBA analysts and college analysts that are talking about the draft compare you to a young Dwayne Wade? a guy that's a Hall of Famer. Now, they said 19-year-old Dwayne Wade, but when you hear your name being mentioned alongside a Hall of Famer like that, what goes through your mind?
It means a lot because that's one of the first persons that caused me to start playing basketball, He helped me fall in love with the game just because of, him right there in Miami when I was right in Bimini, which is only like 50 miles away. So, I always felt like that was home team. But, he, knowing his play style, and as I got older, started to understand I play similar. It's a blessing just to be compared to someone of such great talent, such caliber player.
Now, tell us a little bit about how Buddy Hield got you to the United States, because it's an interesting story.
Yeah, so I was at Buddy's camp when I was like 13 or 12, playing against 18-year-olds. I ain't supposed to be there, but I think they was about to try. I think they was about to send me back, but they was like, "Nah, keep him." So it was he just helped me got some exposure. And always gave me confidence. He always gave me confidence in my work. So I feel like that's what it was.
We're speaking to VJ Edgecomb here on the Comcast Business Hotline, third overall pick of the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers were in an interesting position to be able to select third overall. You mentioned the stars that are on this team, Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey. Nobody really expected going into this past season that they'd be drafting third overall, but here we are. So how is it for you, a lottery pick, a third overall pick? Is it easier or is it more difficult to try to find yourself a part of a team that already has some pretty big name players?
For me, as the type of player I am, and the type of character I have, I feel like it's going to be easy for me to be a part of this team. Every team will have ups and downs, but I feel like everyone on this team are great people. I got to spoke with Tyrese in person, a great person. So, I just know that they're gonna help me. I just know that they're gonna help me throughout the process, throughout the whole time being here in Philly, man. I just know they're gonna help me.
VJ, I'm married to a woman from the islands. You're gonna have to find some island food here in Philadelphia.
Most def.
That is gonna be. You're gonna use every connection you've got because there's gonna be a lot of places that say they serve it. But she's pretty critical of it, so you're going to have to get down to business with that.
Yeah, I have to. I'm gonna need my island food for sure.
So what is the journey in Philadelphia now, right? So you get selected. You said you got here yesterday. What's a couple of the first things that you want to check off now that you're in the city of brotherly love?
First of all, I want to get a Philly cheesesteak.
Oh, there you go.
Of course.
Yeah. I feel like it's not,
They're not putting any conch on it, though. There's no conch fritters on it or anything like that.
Nah, man. Definitely want some island food. I hear Philly got a bunch of got some diversity out here, so I just want to try the different food. That's the main thing. I just want to try different food. So if anyone got any spots, just let me know. If you Philly fans, if you're listening, man, you can hit me on Instagram. I'll be looking at my messages just to see any food suggestions anyone has, man. I'm definitely open to try.
You know you're gonna get it. There's gonna be a lot of people that will. Now, a couple of other things before we let you go, man. Again, congratulations. Really happy for you.
Thank you so much.
The number 77. We got to talk about the jersey selection.
Yeah, they were giving you. They were a little questioning it this morning, and I was saying, leave the young man alone.
See, when I see the number 77, I think of a big man or a Euro. So
Yeah.
what went into 77? I know you were 7 in Baylor, and that number's being used right now by the Sixers. So what led to the inspiration of choosing 77?
Man, so 7 obviously, Kyle already has it, and then 1 that wasn't available. Then 30 wasn't available. They were my 3 numbers. Also 8. I wore 8 during the Olympic pre-qualifiers. That wasn't available, and just out of respect for players, I ain't gonna go asking them for their number. So I had to find a new number, and it was like, just why not just wear? I just want 7 in my number somewhere. So I was like, I might as well just wear 77. I don't want them to think I'm copying anybody, but I was like, I just want to wear 7. So I'll just wear 77.
You brought up that the number 8 was what you wore in the Olympic qualifiers. What was it like for you playing for the Bahamas men national team? Like, what was that? What kind of pride did you get for that, playing for your home country?
Yeah, it helped build my confidence, and it also helped me learn the game of basketball a lot more. I love to learn, especially when it comes to the game. So I feel like just playing with the pros every day, being around them, it taught me a lot, especially while I was only 18 at the time. So I was extra young, playing with my teammates. That's older, like my guy EG. EG knows all love though, but yeah. So I just learned a lot the whole time being out there with them.
I would suggest that do not let Tyrese Maxey talk you into rooting for the Cowboys. You're an Eagles fan now. You're a Philadelphian now. That's very important.
Yeah.
That's very important because Tyrese might pollute your mind. Do not let him. Do not let him.
I already said go Birds yesterday.
There we go.
Yes,
There you go. We got to go Birds from VJ Edgecomb. I love it.
do that.
Now, last thing, VJ, your head coach from Baylor, Scott Drew, is going to be joining the Mike Missanelli show. They come on after us. Any message you want to leave for Scott?
Welcome to Philly, Coach. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Philly, man. Philly's a great town, great city. You're gonna love
That's
talking to Philly people. And Coach, I love it, man.
That's awesome. VJ, listen, man, congratulations.
Thanks, VJ. We look forward to seeing
I know
you.
it's going to be busy for you with media and jersey photos and all that kind of stuff, but we appreciate you taking some time, man, and good luck this upcoming season.
Thank you for having me, man. Philly, I love y'all already, man.
Thanks, VJ.
There's VJ Edgecomb. I told you, I fell in love with this guy listening to the stories during the NBA draft after he was selected, and I fell in love with him even more, man.
He's a really nice young man, and he's very poised.
Yeah,
he's got look ahead and no for show.
Dropping a Go Birds there at the end.
That was well done.
Oh, we're clipping that.
See, that's when you're well coached up. Yeah, we can use that anytime.
Look, I get it. People like scoring, and Ace Bailey is a guy that can be a scorer in this NBA if he's taking 20-plus shots a night. You need a player like a VJ Edgecomb if you still believe that this team can do something.
Sure.
All right? And I'm going down with the ship. I get it.
You're taking us all down with us, Jack.
But he can fit in right now as the player that he is with this current team. Yeah. When it is time to turn the page, he will then have a couple of years in the league improving as an NBA basketball player.
Okay. That's good.
I like it. And I like the kid a lot. That was awesome.
It was fun to have him on.
All right, coming up next, we'll sneak in a couple texts. We have the Key 3 as well. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, and we have...
47 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Real quick, you know how it was like 2 weeks ago, I just had that random, let me Google this at night, and I saw that, imagine if you hit the ball through the legs of the shortstop.
Oh, yeah.
But then you get thrown out trying to go to second.
That it's not a hit.
There's not an error.
There's not an error
on the
right.
shortstop because the guy ultimately got out.
Sure.
So Freddie Freeman had a line drive yesterday that went through his glove. It ripped through his glove.
It ripped the weave out.
Now, he was not charged with an error, but I looked it up. You can be charged an error. Why? It's up to the score. It's up to the scorer at the stadium.
Because you didn't have your equipment right.
Should have caught it in the palm.
You didn't have.
Don't know what to say. Make the play, bro.
Should have barehanded the line drive.
There's a way to make the play.
You didn't have your equipment properly calibrated.
I just find that it's crazy.
That is funny.
Somebody could say, "Yeah, no, that's
an error.
We're gonna charge you with an error for that."
Think about the wording of error, though. It's a play that the average player makes, right?
That is an average play that's made. You make it.
The average glove catches it.
That should be an error.
It does, though.
That should be an error.
By the letter of the law.
Like the other night. Baseball errors are stupid. Like the other night, Trey Turner should have gotten an error in the first inning.
Oh, no, sorry. He was charged an erur. My
He
bad.
did get an error?
I was looking at the wrong box score.
Okay,
He
so
was
he did.
charged an error for the ball going
have to.
through his glove. Have to?
Yeah, because you calibrate you don't check your glove. You check your glove.
No, you don't check your glove.
Yes, you do. These players.
No, you're not
they're-
calibrating 120 miles an hour off the bat.
No, I
That's
got
what
you.
you're not calibrating.
But they do. They absolutely do obsess on their gloves.
What do you want to have a
They do, but-
steel plate behind
They do
it? so that
obsess on their
doesn't rip
gloves.
through?
Some of these guys oil their gloves, put shaving cream on their gloves.
Right, but you're not going out there every day like, is there a ball going to go through this?
No, I understand that part of it, but they do check their gloves.
That's another random like
That is
you know,
random. That's
I never
weird.
really knew.
But I always knew they could rule it that way.
Yeah, you could rule, but like, who are you to judge? Like,
You're the official scorer. It's your job to
and the
judge.
ball rips through the glove. It's not the player's fault.
Your Honor, who are you to judge?
All right,
That's the name of the position.
time now for the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show.
Now, the Kincade Salciunas Key 3. Today's best.
This trade deadline is make or break for me with Dave Dombrowski because I have watched this man sit on his hands since last season, since the start of last season, when the team went out of the gate red hot, setting franchise records, and there were still needs, in my opinion, for this team at the trade deadline, as we talked about a lot last season. I believe you can always improve. I'm an F those picks guys. I'm a proven versus unknown. I don't care about prospects. I'm always like that, right? So it's not like I change my tune year in, year out. That's how I feel. And last year, he had a very weak trade deadline. That's not revisionist history. I was saying it at the time. I didn't like the trade deadline, and it played out that way. Now, obviously, the Austin Hayes kidney stuff is a whole different conversation, but I wasn't a big fan of that addition to begin with. And then you go into the offseason, and you go, all right, you had a very poor showing against the New York Mets in the playoffs. What are you going to do this offseason to sort of rejuvenate this team? Because this team feels like it's gotten stale over the last couple of years, despite getting to a World Series and getting to an NLCS. I'm not attacking Dave Dombrowski for any of that. And then he does nothing but actually allow two of his better bullpen arms to walk. He brings in one guy that was sort of a flyer that you're hoping something can become of him because he had a major injury in Jordan Romano. The rest of the team felt stale, and you're seeing that at times this season. Dave,
you just saw it again. You've seen the movie over and over again, and you're ignoring what's right in front of you. And no dope like me should be able to tell you anything about baseball.
Since spring training, by the way. This isn't we're just saying this because they got swept by the Astros.
It's not just this year.
Yeah, I know.
I've been crying this from the rooftops for 2 years. Everybody's saying, it doesn't matter that they run the bases like crap. It doesn't matter that they've got a bad approach at the plate. Look, they're a 90-some win team. I don't give a damn. When you're a top 4 or 5 payroll, you should be a 90-win team. It's not something to hold a parade about or to clap about or to say, what an accomplishment. That should be the floor. What matters is October. This team is not built for October. What wins in October? A lineup that can run starting pitching out of the building because it can get to another team's bullpen, and then their bullpen doesn't mix and match well.
I'm intrigued I thought that they could have gone in different directions, but I will say this. Selecting Janai Broom tells me what they think about Adem Bona, no matter how much Daryl Morey has been trying to praise him. I know I saw footage recently of Adem Bona working on his outside shot. Maybe they're going to try to turn him into some sort of stretch 4. By everybody that has talked about Broom is that he could step in right away and be a backup 5.
I'm not expecting him to come out and say, hey, we need a player in left field. We need a player in center field. The bullpen is obvious, but every single contender is going to say we need bullpen help. So that's something that you can put out there. It could be he's playing his cards close and doesn't want to show everything. It could be that he actually buys into the have to get hot thing, but there's no impact name that's going to get moved at the deadline, right? There is no Juan Soto. There is no Shohei Ohtani. Like, there's no maybe even all-star that's going to get moved at the deadline.
So that will be the built-in excuse for Dave Dombrowski. Well, the market wasn't there.
Well, it's a legitimate thing.
Well, then, the point and that then again, that my make or break is not just July 30th. It's going back to February and March when you had the opportunity to try to find ways to improve this team via free agency. Right now, you're relying on trade deadline. You had the opportunity to improve this team via free agency. You had the opportunity to improve this team via free agency the year before that as well, and you didn't. There's the Kincade Salciunas Key 3 best minutes from today's show. Good to see Ray Dunn and Mikey Miss. They're coming your way next. A big show for the Mike Missanelli show today. They have Baylor head coach Scott Drew on at 10:55.
That's going to be fun.
To talk about Edgecomb. The press conferences of Edgecomb and Broom are at 11:30. John Rothstein will be joining the show at 12:25. And Jason Martinez at 1:25.
I'm going to protest the 12:25. I'll be in the car driving to Atlantic City, and I'm going to protest that segment because Rothstein has a grudge against Temple.
He knows his stuff,
hates Temple.
but he hates Temple.
He hates Temple.
Well, so he hates what has happened to Temple.
No, but he hates Temple. He does. And even when I've called him on it, I've called him on stuff, and he ignores it. Hey, Davis CPA Group made a donation to the American Association for Cancer Research. I'm sure Ron and his team going to enjoy a great weekend. You should, too. Make a donation today at 975thefanatic.com/AACR because cancer research saves lives. See you down at the Hard Rock tonight if you're going. And if not, just listen into the great coverage we'll have for you tonight.
It's going to be
Flyers
great.
Draft Night, 6 o'clock. It starts. Tim Saunders, Jason Martinez, and I, and then guests all through the night. It's going to be awesome. That first hour is going to be wild with Danny Briere and Keith Jones and everybody all joining us.
It's must listen, man.
It's going to be fun. And I will see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, you enjoy your vacation.
And then you enjoy yours.
Yep. So Johnny and I splitting up. We're taking a break.
Must be nice.
We're taking a break.
The counselor said take a break.
Take a break.
And it's good. Have a great time.
YouTube, shout out to you guys as always. Thank you, everybody who texted and listened this week. Mike Missanelli show comes your way next. They have some fire to use with the Max Kepler
I like
story.
that.
Unbelievable.
Have a great day, everybody.
Everybody have a great rest of your day. Talk to you Monday.